Okay, great. We're live on YouTube. Thank you so much to everybody who is joining us. If this happens to be your first time joining a comprehensive plan steering committee meeting, welcome. We're really glad you're here. For everybody listening tonight, we have a special education session. We're all going to be listening to a presentation together and learning from it. If you are new to our meetings, please take a peek at our page of the town website. I have it shared up on the screen so you can see what it looks like. We have a 30-minute presentation from June that was our kickoff presentation that gives a really good overview of what we're doing here, what this project is about, and what it means for you as a resident of Lewisboro or someone who's interested in Lewisboro in general. So with that, I want to thank the New York Planning Federation who have allowed us to share this recorded webinar for tonight only. The recording will not be available after the fact on YouTube for copyright reasons. The presentation is just slightly over an hour. Donald Young is the presenter. He is an attorney who practices primarily in Western New York, and he represents a variety of towns and villages in that neck of the woods, and he does a lot of speaking for the New York Planning Federation. If you viewers on YouTube or committee members who are listening have any questions about the presentation, please email them to us, the steering committee. Our contact information is on the website. You can see it right here. The email address is steering@planlewisboro.com. And with that, I think we can kick off the presentation. And yeah, thanks again for joining us.
Just a few minutes late on the.
Okay, that's the presentation. Thank you so much, everyone. If you're still here and you're listening, we really appreciate your engagement. Hope that you learned something. Again, if you have any questions about the presentation, and this goes for committee members as well as anyone who's listening on YouTube, if you have specific questions about the presentation, please give us an email. I will share my screen so you can see our general email address. And also, if you're still listening and you haven't already taken our survey, please do so.
Overview of plan.
Sorry, let me just get out of that window real quick. There we go. All right, here we go. Okay, so you can see the email address up on the screen, steering@planlewisboro.com. And this is our page on the town website. The first thing you'll see here is share your vision for Lewisboro. Don't forget to fill out our survey if you haven't already. Fantastic. Okay, so committee members, feel free to put your video back on if you haven't already. And we're just going to hop into a very quick agenda committee business. So I'm calling our committee meeting officially to order. And I'd like to move to approve the minutes from our meeting held on September 14th that were distributed. All in favor? Or can I get a second? Seconded by Charlene. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, fabulous. Thank you very much. Okay, so first order of business, Larry, I will just kick the mic over to you.
Update on survey. I checked, we continue to get additional surveys coming in. I believe we're up over 560 as of earlier today for the digital responses. And then we have at least several dozen paper responses. So we have a very good response to date. And I think between the mailing and the digital on the website and getting the word out through many different means, I think it has been a successful survey And I'm looking forward to reviewing the responses.
That's so great. I'm so glad that the responses continue to come in. That's fabulous. On the post office locations, let's just go through real quick. Larry, how are Wacabuck and South Salem doing?
There's still paper surveys available if somebody needs them. And there is a manila envelope up at both locations where they could drop off the survey once it's completed.
Awesome. Okay. Mark is not here, so we'll have to check with him offline. Charlene, how's Cross River?
I went last Saturday and this Saturday, and I did get one response, which I'll
Okay.
send over.
Great. And how's Vista doing, John?
The surveys are still there. I checked a couple days ago. There were no new ones in the envelope, but they're still available if anybody wants to.
Great. And Kirsten, how's the planning office and the library and the townhouse?
I just had one US mailed to me.
Oh, nice. Okay, great. Good. And is everybody still okay with doing those locations for a little bit longer?
Yep.
Okay, awesome. If it's a burden, if it's getting to be like a week where you can't, just let me know and I will figure out somebody else can pop in there for you.
Thank you.
Seeing as we're still getting some responses and we're still getting a trickle of interest, I think we should try to just leave those operational for a little bit longer, so we can keep checking in on that.
And just let me know if you need any more copies of the blank survey.
Yes, everybody make sure to do that. Any questions for Larry about the survey or? I wanted to say thank you publicly, Larry. Thank you for organizing the library fair table and for making that happen and for being there. And it looked like it was a big success. So thank you so much for doing that.
Absolutely. And thanks for Mark, spent a good period of time with me, and Kirsten as well. I think the library fair was also a great success overall, is from what I've heard.
That's great. Awesome. Okay, so we have a little bit of time on the calendar. If Jane, I see that you're with us. If you had anything you wanted to share, or if any committee members have a question for Jane about the town board and all that good stuff. It looks like Jane, oh, there you go.
Yeah. Hi, sorry, just caught me eating. Excuse me. Hi, everybody. So I wanted to thank everybody for the work, and I'm so happy to hear about the surveys, that amount. That's really, I was happy to hear that. And the library fair was a huge success, and I'm so glad we had a table there. So thank you for pulling that together. And oh, now my dogs are eating my pizza crust. Okay. I wanted to mention, so one of the things that is really nice about my job is I get this opportunity to do really big community outreach, right? Every 4 years. And so I wanted to mention a couple of the things that have come to my attention and kind of come to mind that have made me think of the committee. And I guess they're just ideas that I want to leave with you, and then you can develop them if they're interesting to you. So the first is that last night we heard from our highway superintendent about roads, and after many conversations and many budget seasons with Peter Ripperger, he's talked a lot about dirt roads, and as bucolic as they are, they're really not like that sustainable fiscally or efficient with time. And I don't really know about the environmental impact. I'm not sure there. But I wonder if it would be interesting to have him come and talk about like a long-term vision. Again, this would be kind of controversial because people are very attached to the dirt roads and the bucolic nature of Lewisboro. So it's just an idea. As I listen to him talk, I want to, be thoughtful about the future and what's sustainable for us. And then the second thing is that has come to my attention is, about a third of our residents live in lake communities. And I think we're going to find that that's going to be worthy of a subcommittee at some point. So I just wanted to kind of throw it out there and let you guys kind of think about it. You obviously don't have to take either one of those suggestions. That is all they are. Are there any questions? Do you all have any questions for me?
Thank you for sharing that, Jane. Go ahead, Charlene.
As to the dirt roads, I mean, that is obviously an issue. However, I think that that is best broached with the consultants, and they will sort of fold it into their questions to the public, rather than have something that could be, if it were presented just as a separate thing, could be very controversial and sort of like get people off the beaten track.
Yeah, Charlene, that's so wise. You're right. That's the right place for it, I think. now that
Yeah,
you
it's
say that.
not to say that it's not important. It really is important, but it should be in context.
Agreed.
Does
Thank
anybody
you.
else have questions or discussion for Jane?
Okay.
Well, thank you
Well-
for sharing that, and thank you as always for being here and participating with us. We really appreciate it, Jane.
Oh, likewise. Thank you all so much. And in the meantime, you all know how to reach me offline in between the meetings as well. So always feel free. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so next item on the agenda is just committee members' closing thoughts, questions on open action items. I'll just point out that our next meeting is going to be on October 26th. We're only going to have one meeting during October unless something comes up. And we'll review what kind of viewership we got for the educational session tonight. And if there was good viewership and a good response to it, I'll kind of hit the drawing board and see if it makes sense to do something on a Tuesday or Thursday in October, or if we should just target November. But let me just bring up action items. Okay, Charlene.
There's a coordination of a review of the census information. I actually had a meeting with the village that I represent with Norma Drummond, and she offered to speak to us, meaning municipalities, about our particular municipality. And I think that would, and it's not just like what's on the, she really has an in-depth understanding of it. And I think that would be well worthwhile as to how our residents, what is the makeup of our residents?
Do you think that would be something that we should do before or after with the consultant?
I don't think, if we're looking for education, I don't think it would hurt to have it. And, because these are facts, it's not conjecture.
Gotcha. And the consultant could always watch the recorded.
They're going to talk to Norma anyway.
Mhm.
We'll point them right to Norma, but just as an educational, it would be interesting because it's just factual. There's no opinion to it.
Okay, great. October/November.
So yeah, I'll just ask her what's convenient for her.
Okay. Great. Does anybody else have a closing thought or a point on an open action item? Okay, great. I will also just point out on here, the RFP for the consultant is live, and it's on the Lewisboro website. There's a specific page that's just devoted to RFPs. So the full text of the RFP itself is publicly available. It was posted in the record review. It was posted on the message boards of the New York Planning Federation, the American Planning Association, New York Metro chapter, and Upstate New York chapter. So it's out there in the world, and we thank Kirsten for all the work that's going to go into just receiving the responses and coordinating questions. And hopefully there's a lot of that, fingers crossed. So it's out there in the world, I'll just say that. Great. Well, any other lingering questions or thoughts? All right. Well, thank you as always. Really appreciate the committee members' continued work here, and we're gonna be quiet for a couple weeks and collect ourselves, and there's gonna be a lot of work coming up late this year, early next year, as we start doing really the interviews and the research on the consultants. So please enjoy some weeks off in October, and keep an eye on your email. If there's anything important, we'll send it there. And thanks again for all your hard work. And thanks to anyone who's watching this and engaging with the committee. We really appreciate it. And we are very much looking forward to the community engagement stage of this project, which will be happening in 2022, which used to sound like a long ways away, but now not so much. So thanks again, everybody. And we will see you back here on October 26th. Motion to close the meeting. Can I get a
So
second?
moved.
Fantastic. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thanks, everybody. See ya.
Bye-bye.